I'm glad our little derp healed us. Until someone tries to kill her or does kill her. Then we'll kill them. And everyone else. And then ourselves. And then it'll be really sad. By the time... Oh no, did I just foreshadow myself? By the time the sun's risen clearly above the horizon, my body's starting to wake up. Makina trots over to the corner, unplugs our small fridge from the outlet that connects the cord for her bread making machine in its place. I was just lying in bed spacing out, but watching the girl grinding her plug into the little outlet while yelling, I can't help but break into laughter again. Oh, look, we're laughing! And decide it's about time I get to work myself. I push my languid body up off the ground.
はい、パパンがパッとね。はいよ、お待たせ。パンが焼けたのよ。
Binga banga bongo, I'm so happy in the jungle. Na, 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 na. Nice. Bring it here. What'd you make for us today?
カレー好きなパパのために今日はカレーパンなのよ。
I think I should make his voice not what it is anymore, because he's changed. He's a changed man. Sort of. Kind of. Sort of. Looks tasty.
ほんで、パパはさっきから何をしているのよさ。
Just polishing my fists just in case I need to punch someone to death. Knitting socks for a baby. Oh, look at that. Look at him.
おお、靴下ってのはホームセンターで買った肥料から作るものなの？
Listen, you gotta do what you can in a time like this. That's right. It's a new synthetic fabric made from nitrogenous fertilizer. Fuck!
嘘よね。
Yeah, it's a lie. Bring me those 2 plastic containers lying over there, will ya? Jesus.
うん、いいけど、何すんの？
I'm filling them up with a mixture of iron powder, shit, vermiculite, and sawdust. Then adding activated charcoal and saline solution.
どんな靴下になるの？
They're gonna be the deadliest socks you ever did see. The sock thing was a joke. In any case, let's eat once I'm finished with these.
わかった。
Sure. The 2 of us don't have much in the way of cash on hand right now. Paying in advance for 10 days in this room didn't help. And we can't just start withdrawing cash and swiping credit cards, of course. There's no easier way to track a fugitive than through the movements of their money. I did have a little bit of a slush fund stashed away for a rainy day that the company doesn't know about, just for such an occasion. But I left that money with a third party connected to Osco's, who's helped me out several times in the past. There's a chance that information might have leaked to Ichigaya through JB, so I can't just wander over carelessly and knock on the front door, with my company as my enemy. It's proving frustratingly difficult to get any hands on cash. To be brutally honest, we're a pair of children up against a large organization run by a deadly series of adults. Well, deadly serious. I doubt our playground tricks will keep them off our trail for long. No matter how hard we run, 1 week would probably be an optimistic estimate. If the cards fall wrong, we might end up being taken into custody today. In the light cold of day, brain, I can't help feeling that it would have been wiser to cool down and talk things over with JB at length instead of thrashing around emotionally like this. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But straightforward negotiation strategy wasn't really an option. If the Isira clan was feeling comfortable enough to indulgently hear out a child like me, they wouldn't have turned to an extreme measure like assassination in the first place. For the moment, I simply have no choice but to smack aside our pursuers one after the other. I got a feeling today's gonna be one hell of a long day. Oh no. Meanwhile, back in JB's
突
office.
入時間15分前です。
Oh, leave me alone, will ya?
各員、配置についた？
No, I don't need this.
非常口の担当員がまだです。扉の前に廃棄自転車が放置されているようですが、排除しますか？
Hey, I left that bike there for a fucking reason.
排除しなければ扉は開かないの？
ないそのようです。
ならそのまま放置。むしろ扉が開かないようにその場にしっかりと固定してしまいなさい。
Yeah, just fucking keep all my exits. Just, you know, fucking.
了解。
You know, I'm fucked. Well, not really. We're awesome. Less than 12 hours after the commotion last night, specifically at 5 o'clock this morning, there was a misdial directly to my office from an outside line. Chiara Farrell answered, introducing herself as a receptionist. What's wrong with me? Receptionist at the fictional company we use to screen all outside calls. A young man on the other end of the line said, "I'm sorry, wrong number," then instantly hung up the phone. Some people are apparently still under the impression it takes time to trace a call, but that hadn't been true for decades. Today, everything is managed digitally, so it's possible to retrieve the relevant data instantly via Jai1. Why'd I say Jai? Our trace revealed that the call had been placed from a public telephone installed in a park in Shuginami Ward. We attempted repeated callbacks immediately after the man hung up on us, but no one picked up the receiver. Agents were dispatched to the site immediately. My hypothesis, the person who placed this call was almost certainly Kazami Yuji, occupation student. Most likely, the nasty little brat was intending to stand by with a watch in one hand, measuring the time it would take our agents to arrive. Should we arrive on scene within 10 minutes, he would learn there were active service personnel searching the neighborhood. If, on the other hand, we were to take longer than 30 minutes, he could conclude that our net had been spread wide and thin. I still don't think calling them was a smart plan. Like, yeah, you had this intention to, figure out what they're doing, but he literally, he should know that, whatever. When your opponent gives your net an exploratory tug, it's only natural to try and use that against him. Assuming a scenario in which our personnel arrive on the scene at an average of 7 minutes after the call, even if you began sprinting immediately after hanging up the phone, it would be difficult to cover more than 1.75 kilometers. Taking into account Kazami Yuji's occupation student's athleticism, I arranged for all multi-story architectural structures within the 2,000 meter radius of the public telephone to be searched. 4 sites fit this criteria: the JTTC Hirasawa Building, Parkview Shuganami, Central Tower Higashio, and Sun Avenue Clio. Plain clothes agents were dispatched to search all these. 19 minutes later, I sent a dummy agent to put on a show of investigating the telephone itself. After 4 minutes of this, an agent spotted Kazami Yuji descending an emergency staircase on the high-rise apartment Parkview Shuganami, a building which afforded an excellent view of the park below. We commenced shadowing him. A full hour of evasive maneuvering around the city ensued, but eventually he led us back to a lodging facility that seems to be serving as his hideout. 11 agents relieved our pursuit team and settled in for surveillance. After 3 hours, they reported a confirmed sighting on our real target. I drew up a formal proposal for forcible entry and waited for the go-ahead up from HQ. And just about a half an hour ago, I received authorization. At present, a special ambush team consisting of 23 members, including backup, have been deployed around the building. The raid begins in another 10 minutes. Well,
管理人のローバーを含め建物内の人間の退避が完了しました。突入10分前です。
I bet that old woman was just like, "God damn it, I don't want to fucking leave."
気づかれた様子は？
Oh, guaranteed.
サーモセンサーでの反応では室内の熱源は2つ。1つは部屋の右奥、もう1つは部屋の中央。30分前から動いていません。
I mean, I'm already preparing a little something, you know. It's getting ready.
動いていない。会話はあるの？
レーザー搭乗機による超音ではカーテンの影響で精密確認はできていませんが、テレビの音声らしきものが部屋の外からでも確認できていますので、おそらくはテレビを見ているのだと思われます。
Or we're not. We just bamboozled you so hard.
嫌な予感がするわね。 突入時間を30分延長して様子を見ましょう。
バカを言っちゃいけないよ、ハルデラ君。周辺道路を通行規制するのに一体いくらかかってると思うのかね。
Does that really cost you money? I think it'd cost the city more money than anything.
住宅地ではないのは幸いだが、あまり時間をかければ周辺店舗などの営利業務者からクレームがつくぞ。
Yeah, see, like, it's the city. It's not our problem.
ですが
ですがじゃないよ君。君が提出したプランにはヘリまで申請してあったそうじゃないか。たかが一匹の野良犬にどれだけ予算を使う気だね、まったく。
She's just like, you don't understand.
そんなもの後で請求書でも書いて、うちから薩長、薩長から永田町、永田町から入助に回せばいいのでは。
君そういったデリケートな話題はこの場では言及を避けたまえよ。
そもそも私の提出したプランでは表向き不足第4条を適用したはずですが、
しかし不発弾処理による周辺退避となるとマスコミに対する粉飾の必要が出てくるだろう。大掛かりな偽装は避けようとの通達はあったはずだ。
万が一作戦が失敗した時のためのエクスキューズでもあります。必要な粉飾です。
Like, it's like this is a more serious situation, you know?
だからといって災害派遣申請が通るのを待っていたら日が暮れてしまうよ君。
I feel like if why does a disaster relief operation need approved?
突入開始時刻
Oh Jesus.
よし突入。
まだですよ。5分前って言ってるでしょうが。
You realize if you go in there, it's a trap.
君そんなに怒らなくてもいいじゃないか。
キアラ、最終確認を。
はい。突入班アルファ、バックアップブラボー、封鎖班チャーリー、観測班デルタ、救護班エコー、各班連携完了です。
いいかね、重ねて確認する。イリス・マキナはできるだけ無傷で確保すること。彼女は強力なカードになる。殺さずに確保を優先するように。
A bargaining chip. Fuck this.
90295が障害となる場合は強制的に排除して構わない。現場にもう一度通達を。
And if you do that, they will all die.
はい、
構わないわ。伝えなさい。
クイーンより各トランプへ。アリスを保護せよ。ラビットが障害となる場合、排除を許可する。遅れ。
We're crying out loud. None of this is playing out the way I wanted it to. We may be part of a ministry instead of an agency now with a nice sign outside our office, but all we really got out of the deal was a lot of politics and red tape. Our group was far lighter on its feet as a permanent combat unit. Admittedly, this is a fairly small-scale spot mission, but I can't even get a surveillance helicopter in the air, let alone airborne early warning. My plan was already covered in red pen before it even made it up the chain of to the brass, where it was promptly authorized in that mangled form with no alterations whatsoever. They cut giant holes in my strategy. They dumped it right back onto my desk. I'd at least understand the amateurs in the Arisu family signing off on this, but we're supposed to know that what we're doing here.
デルタチームより緊急連絡。建物周辺から爆発物反応を検知したそうです。
Told ya. Told ya. It's a trap.
種類は？
二酸化窒素です。ニトロ系ではないかとの報告です。
なーに構わんよ。ブリーフケースの中のマッチを爆発物だと騒ぎ出すような連中の報告だ。気にすることはない。作戦は続行する。
Yeah, this guy, this guy, he's not very smart, is he?
危険です。
He's not a smart person.
君ね、安全な仕事がしたいのなら転職することを勧めるよ、ハルデラ君。
Wow. Okay, dude. You are just... No, he's not. It's just you're being stupid. Real dumb.
どうしますか？間もなく突入時刻ですが。
本部長、
構わんと言っただろ。突入だ、突入。
And they're all dead.
早速胃が痛くなってきたわ。
突入開始時刻です。チームアルファ突入開始。ワイヤートラップを解除。建物内に侵入します。
They will fall right into my trap. Nausea settles heavily in my stomach. At the same time, a hazy uneasiness swirls deep inside my chest. There's nothing I'd like more than to burst out of this room and run away. The queasiness in my stomach I owe to director Atsuka's pig-headed rashness, and I more or less understand where the gloominess in my heart is coming from as well. In any case, I got a bad feeling about this. To be more precise, I've got a whole range of bad feelings about this, and not much else. Kazami Yuji, occupation student, is a shrewd man with the instincts of a wild animal. I can't help feeling we caught his tail far too easily. This should be approached as a potential trap. Exactly. Admiral Akbar said it best. Too bad he's dead, though. It certainly looks as though we've cornered him. But even a small shift in events could reverse that dynamic entirely. No one's as light on their feet as those convinced of victory. And the lighter you are on your feet, the easier it is to knock you down. I know Kazami Yuji learned the lesson all too well. After all, I'm the one who taught it to him. Damn. A certain place. In total darkness, I feel for the backlight button on my wristwatch and push it in. The time is exactly 9 a.m. As the watch buzzes softly and emits faint electroluminescent light, I catch a glimpse of Makina's face. Her expression is visibly anxious. It's time. You ready, Makina? Shh, we'll be okay. Don't grab a rich man or an agent by the tail. That's the secret to living a long life. Even if you should happen to coincidentally discover an enemy spy performing their duties, don't assume you've just made your career. Agents are often compared to rats or moles, but the single biggest difference between them and your average rodent is that agents are trained professionals. It's highly unlikely you're going to just stumble across one in the field. Implausibly so. Your first thought should be that they're trying to bait you somehow. Exactly. As for the second biggest difference, in the spy population, there are a decent number of predators mixed in among the prey. Agents do more than sulk around and hide. Sometimes you'll find ones with nasty teeth lying in wait to ambush you and rip a hole right in your net. In short, never allow yourself to assume the spy you just randomly discovered is a careless idiot. And burp, whatever you do, don't tag along back into his lair all by yourself dreaming of medals on your chest. The more enticing things appear, the more carefully you need to watch your ass. Success is directly proportional to cowardice. That's how you deal with an agent.
ねえ、パパ、
Shh, Makina. Shh. What?
寒い。
Oh, god damn it. Deal with it. 9/10 of the fugitive lifestyle comes down to toughen it out. I realized the building was surrounded at 7:30 a.m. If there's one thing I know about the Brass HQ, it's that they never miss a meal or a siesta. So I assumed we'd have until after breakfast before the actual raid took place. And, exactly as expected, they held back for precisely an hour and 30 minutes before finally making their move. During that delay, Makina and I finished all of our preparations, then quickly hid ourselves inside a large commercial refrigerator. Turns out there's an enormous kitchen in this place, probably a remnant of some forgotten era when it was a hot spring hotel, and the fridge inside proved equally massive. The stainless steel refrigerator, in other words, an enormous lump of heat insulating material, an ideal hiding place. After emptying the fridge of its contents and pulling out the shelves, Makina and I climbed inside, closing it behind us with a single towel wedged in the door. This way, we can simply yank on the towel to fling the door open, enabling us to jump out quickly if the need arises. We'll be fine. Battle against time now. Hopefully they'll fall for the trap before we get hypothermia in here.
罠を解除するのに時間がかかったり、全部解除されちゃったらどうするの？
Oh, we don't have to worry about that. They got an idiot fucking giving them the orders and not JB. I took countermeasures against that. After everyone else in the hotel was quietly evacuated, I went around the building laying traps all over the place. I call them traps only in the loosest sense of the word. They're mostly extremely simple tripwires, and 80% are dummies. Carefully tracing the wire back to its source, you'll find many of them are just harmlessly tied around a pillar. Might sound like nothing but a childish prank, but there are a few more elaborate works of art mixed in there as well. I'm particularly fond of the little number installed on the door of the room we're in. Creeping along toward our room from the front entrance, painstakingly clearing one dummy wire trap, then another, then another. You start to feel a little let down despite yourself. And then, just as you're beginning to think, are any of these things real? You'll run into that lunchbox. Lunchbox. Right, literally a box that once held a lunch. Specifically, the one Amine prepared for us before we left the dorm. Oh, wow. Makina and I enjoyed the food inside last night. As she washed the empty box, Makina softly mumbled, "We can't go give the box back, can we?" And I was struck by a thought. Lunchbox is a standard slang in our profession for our time bomb. Seemed an appropriate choice for a sham threat. The lunchbox, connected to our door by a series of wires, currently contains a fake bomb constructed of random odds and ends. Taking a photograph with an X-ray camera would immediately reveal the contents to be junk. But if you arrange it carefully, with a few plausible-looking parts here and there, you can produce something that's hard to distinguish from an irregular explosive device covered in unrelated trash. It's quite common to dump junk on top of the guts of an actual bomb. When the man looking over it says, "What's just a dummy?" and opens the lid, it blows up in his face. Nasty prank that agents from the East are particularly fond of. But thanks to those dirty bastards, just sprinkling a little nitrogenous fertilizer over some random crap in a box is enough to leave professionals sweating bullets for a good 10 minutes. Why was I going to say a drill? Drill a completely meaningless screw or two through the surface of the lunchbox, and they'll be pissing themselves for a good 20 minutes. It's an extremely helpful trick in certain circumstances. Some of the more high-tech bombs these days can detect penetration by X-rays, and others have thermometers that trigger an explosion if you try to use liquid nitrogen to defuse them. So you carefully disassemble this thing, trembling in your boots, only to discover it's yet another dummy. Had about enough of this crap by now, right? So you throw open the door to the room, where the final trap's waiting for you.
私のデジタルペットを使ったやつ？
I even used one out of Makina's fucking pet. That's right. Good luck dealing with that one. High-tech toys these days are made with some pretty impressive stuff in their own right. You'd be surprised what they can do. The digital pet Makina's always carrying around is a good case in point. That cheap-looking plastic eggshell contains a tiny 3-axis geomagnetic sensor. A little rewiring, and we've got ourselves an extremely precise and low-cost detonator that can be triggered by the slightest movement. The world really is a convenient place these days. Kids, don't try this at home. It all comes down to the 8 seconds after the enemy falls from that trap. Meanwhile?
7個目のトラップを解除。またダミーです。
God damn it!
また？
全部ダミーではないのかね。所詮は穴蔵に追い詰められたネズミの悪あがきだよ。
Fucking idiot over here is gonna fall for it.
そう思わせるためのダミーです。油断はできません。
アルファ、対象が潜伏中の部屋の前に到着。扉に仕掛けられたランチボックスを発見。対処を開始します。
またかね。突入を開始してからもう10分以上経っているじゃないか。どうせそれもダミーだろ。
See? He's being hot-headed and stupid. I hate this guy.
いえ、 今度の装置からは微弱ですが、オシレータのクロックパルス音が検知できたそうです。何らかの電子回路が作動していると思われます。
どうやら本命というやつだな。できるだけ速やかに解除。
対象はまだ部屋の中にいるの？
はい、サーモセンサーによる熱源感知によれば対象は移動していないそうです。
そう。
Yet.
デルタより緊急連絡。
今度は何かね。
いえ、対象潜伏中の室内の温度が上昇しているそうです。
室温が上昇？どういうことだね。
It's like, let's not go in there.
いけない。すぐに全員建物外に退避。
なんだね急に。説明したまえ。
対象は室内で可燃性ガスを飽和させている可能性があります。71年にマリオとアントニオの兄弟テロリストが使った手です。建物に突入した特殊部隊を建物ごと爆破して18人を殺害しました。建物自体が罠なんですよ。すぐに退避を。
バカな。対象は建物の中だぞ。自爆する気か。
Well, one, I'm fucking crazy. Two, not crazy, but then two, I'm in a fridge. What do you want from me?
マリオ兄弟は大型の冷蔵庫の中に身を隠していたそうです。おそらく対象も同様の手段を講じていると思われます。とにかく退避命令を。今度は何？
アルファ、ドア開けちゃいました。
Well, that sucks for them, doesn't it?
ちょっと！
状況、ガスです。室内から大量のガスが噴出中。
God, they didn't even wait for orders. They just fucking went in like idiots.
爆発は
Now they're dead.
起きていません。吹き出したガスはどうやら市販の殺虫用燻煙剤のようです。総員、総面を完了。
Really, any gas is dangerous, though.
殺虫剤だと？バカにしよって。室内の対象はどうした？
それが室内の熱源は灯油用のポリタンクに詰められた化合物による熱反応だったみたいで、殺虫剤の加熱蒸散装置としても機能していたようです。
やられたわね。
Fooled you.
しかしまだ建物の中にいるということだ。総員で捜索に当たる。
She literally just said, I'm probably hiding in a large fridge.
待ってください。まずは建物内の排煙を済ませてください。加熱蒸散装置を使用していたということは粉塵爆発を狙っていたはずです。このまま銃撃戦でも始まれば大爆発を起こす可能性が。
He's gonna be like, we're not gonna do that.
対象はこの混乱に乗じて逃走を図る腹積もりだろう。銃を使用しなければいいだけの話だ。捜索を始めたまえ。
This fucking guy. He's just impatient. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. Why is he like the...
ですが
How'd he get in this position? Oh my god.
アルファリーダーより報告。部屋の天井から何やら紐で吊るされた玩具を発見したそうです。
Okay. Oh no.
玩具？それが何だというのだね。
What do you mean? It was hanging from a string! It's way... It can't be more obvious than that.
まさか。待って、それには触らないで。
Too late. We touched the Tamagotchi. Now it's gonna kill everyone. What the fuck? Uh-oh.
アルファ、応答してください。こちらクイーン、アルファ、応答を。
That was really unsettling.
やられた。今度こそ本当に。
Got him.
どういうことだね。
This fucking guy's... What?
振り子型起爆装置です。 部屋の中に加熱蒸散装置を仕掛け、殺虫剤に混ぜた微粒子を噴煙させ飽和させる。やがて部屋のドアが開けられると、室内に滞留していた微粒子が排出されると同時に、燃焼に必要な酸素が室内に流入、粉塵爆発の条件が整います。
She's like, you know that thing I literally just said he's planning on probably doing? Yeah, that.
そこにコリオリや地磁気に反応する電子玩具を発火装置として天井から吊るして、わずかでも振り子の動きを阻害すると起爆する装置を仕掛けておけば、結果はすでに現状が物語っていますね。
くそ、現状はどうなっている？報告しろ。
Did everyone die? Did I win?
チームアルファに負傷者が2名、重度6、緊急搬送を要します。また現場は小規模な火災が発生している模様。現在チームブラボーが消火活動中です。
Okay, well, I didn't win, but, you know, I did something. Well, I did win, technically.
対象はどうした？建物内の捜索を開始しろ。
現在チームデルタが捜索に当たっています。
待って、その前に負傷した2名は誰なの？
Probably the fucking people that grabbed the thing.
アルファ3とアルファ4のペアです。扉付近で待機していたため、吹き出した高風速の爆煙をもろに浴びたようです。
確認はした？
いえ、すぐに確認します。
急いで。
ハルテラ君、今君、負傷者の心配よりもだね、もっと重要なことがあるだろう。
Bruh, she knows how we work. She knows what our mind does.
アルファ3、アルファ4、両2名が車両を強奪、逃走を開始しました。
Yup. JB was trying to avoid this situation.
何？
Nani?
GPS で追って。
奪われたのは特捜車じゃありません。資材運搬車ですので、ロケーターは未搭載、追尾不能です。
Wow, get fucking annihilated.
観測ヘリは？
We don't have those because we didn't bring one because we're stupid.
OH1 の発信はキャンセルされています。上空待機ありません。
So dumb. So unorganized.
該当車両のナンバーをすぐに N システムの手配車リストに登録して。
登録しました。現在紹介中です。
ハルテラ君。
That's that. We lost this round, plain and simple. And thus the rabbit spirited Alice away, leaving the cards behind in the dust.
ほんと、最悪のラビットだわ。
I mean, at least, it could have been way worse, right? So I look at the sky.
なんとかうまく逃げ切ったみたいね、パパ。
We done did it, Makina. But we still got a lot of problems. Yeah, almost feels like it went too well, to be honest.
パパは心配性なのよさ。
And you're not much of a worrywart. The operatives broke into our room, spreading concentrated gas throughout the building, then triggered an explosion via our literally untouchable incendiary device, exactly according to plan. The roar of the blast was followed by the sound of shattering window panes. Then, the loud cracking sound of the building itself swelling violently outward. With that as a cue, Maka and I quietly exited our hiding place. Flaming particles of dust were still swirling in the corners as we slipped out the room and down the hallway, ambushing a disabled 2 isolated members of the panicked raid team. Took only 2 seconds. We stripped the pair of their equipment, threw it over on our clothes, covered our faces with their gas masks, then left the building with Makina playing the role of a casualty. As the relief team rushed over, I picked out the man with the armband of the squad leader, then shouted, "There's more wounded inside! We need to help get him out!" And once the squad had rushed into the building, all that remained was silencing the one member who had been left behind in the station wagon they were using as a material transport, Such jobs are usually left to apprentices still too green to enter the actual scene of a raid, and when I glance inside, I discovered a female employee wearing glasses. The only The only people who needed corrective lenses in our company are total newbies who hadn't gotten their mandatory vision correcting surgery yet. Women couldn't have been with us for 3 months. However, she had a truly fine rack. Just as I began idly wondering if rude titties had been added to the selection criteria for the SFGP, it struck me that the dopey-looking, chubby-cheeked glasses girl before me was actually a familiar face. Well, if it isn't Heart 11 from last night. Yeah, she was definitely the one and only agent I'd followed to escape from my little rampage in I'd allowed, not followed. That's stupid. In my little rampage in Shinbashi, I casually removed my gas mask and whispered a few words. Hello again. Thank you for last night. The instant she saw my face, Heart 11's eyes went big as saucers behind her glasses, and her mouth fell open in a perfect circle. To her credit, she promptly reached out for the PTT button on her radio, but I put a stop to that. I grabbed her wrist, wrenched it sharply upwards, and pulled out the cord of her radio before she could even blink. After tying her hands behind her back with a nylon cable, I ejected her forcibly from the vehicle, leaving Heart 11 rolling around on the asphalt while yelping like a dog whose tail had been stepped on. We beat a hasty retreat in the station wagon. The notebook PC inside the vehicle allowed us to call up a map overlaid with locations of end system cameras and potential checkpoint deployments. Taking care to avoid them, we drove around the city in circles for a good hour or so. We crossed paths with motor patrol force cars several times during this little expedition, but there was no reaction. Seems safe to say Sakura Daemon isn't heavily involved in this yet. I imagine they provided access to the end system, but it doesn't look like Ichigai has given them photos of our faces, let alone requested an official manhunt. Oh boy. When politics get involved, people sitting right next door to each other can't even manage to keep up a decent line of communication. All the more so when our company is the key player, of course. Honestly, you're both special state agencies, right? The hell's the point of sneaking around all the time?
Nani?
Talking to myself, Makina. Friendship in the grown-up world. There's a lot of bullshit involved. Anyway, let's ditch the wagon in this coin parking lot here. Don't forget anything inside, alright? What's wrong?
忘れ物しちゃった。リンゴの鉢植え、宿の厨房に置いてきちゃったのよさ。
Oh, well... well, crap. We can't exactly run back over there to pick it up.
どうしよう。サッチンと約束した大切な鉢植えなのに。
It's a shame, but I don't think there's anything we can do, Makina.
でもパパ、あれは希望の苗なのよ。みんなでまた必ず会おうねって約束した苗なのよ。
But Makina, I understand, but we can't just casually wander back to the scene of the crime, can we? Even if we did, it wouldn't be there. They must have confiscated it as evidence by now.
そんなの見に行ってみなきゃわかんないじゃないのよさ。確かめる前に諦めちゃうの？
You're risking literally everything for an apple seed! Ah, shit, how can I explain this?
ごめんね、パパ。無理を言ってるのは私もわかってるのよ。でも、あの苗は。
Yeah, I understand. It's an important tree. For you and me both, it's a seed of hope. But look, Makina, even if the tree's safe, if you lose your life, it's all over. And on the other hand, even if lose the tree. As long as you stay alive, we'll definitely see them again someday. Please understand.
でも
Come on. But don't worry too much, alright? If they confiscate it as evidence, it'll probably end up labeled and stowed in some vault. Once they're done investigating, they'll water it to keep it from withering. Yeah, I'll find a chance to go steal it back eventually, okay?
うん。わかった。きっとだよ。
That's a promise. So for now, let's focus on hiding ourselves, finding ourselves a place to hide out for the night. We abandoned the nondescript station wagon with the keys hanging out the passenger side window door. Not like we left anything inside for a thief to steal, and it's hardly our problem if someone rips out the radio or whatever. In fact, it'd be convenient for us if someone were to steal the whole vehicle and have themselves a little joyride. Pulling Makina by the hand and trying to ignore the downcast expression on her face, I head down a flight of stairs into a subway station. Shh. Oh, no.
キアラ、コーヒーをカフェインみっちりで。
I'm just saying, like, everything got, like, fucked real fast, didn't it? All that fucking dude had to do was just listen to JB, but, you know, he didn't fucking do anything. I just hate him. I hate people that are just too hot-headed and stupid and don't consider any of the possibilities. I hate them! I hate them! I hate Christmas! God damn it.